What's missing from this instruction that was on the other one?
It says where everyone answered at least like at least one.
Yes. This was meant to be a problem where if you total up everything at the end, it's not going to total up to 100 people. And I think the way it was worded last time, it didn't make sense. So when we're starting with Venn diagrams, we don't start at the beginning, we just find our major intersection to begin with. If 5, like all 3 subjects, where does that go? Middle. We'll put that there. Be careful of your football shapes. If I look at this and this, that's the intersection between what 2 sets? Science and social studies. You don't write 10 right here. You already have 5 in there, so how many more do we need? Does that make sense? You want the entire intersection to total 10, but you already have 5 in there. You don't want to double count those people. Then I look at another football shape. That time it's math and social studies. I need 12, but how many are already in there? And the same goes for the intersection between math and science. I need 18. I need 13 more. Then I start looking at the bigger groups. Math is this entire circle. Math is not just this area. It's everything in there. So how many people are already in there? How many? 25? And I need 53. So how many more do I need? I need 28. Make sure that when you add up that entire circle, that it totals 53 for math. Then look at science. I need the entire circle to total up to 41. How many are already in there? 23. I need 18 more. Then social studies is this circle. That's 12, 17, and I need 35, which is another 18. If the question asked how many didn't like math, science, or social studies, what would you do? Add them all up and subtract from 100. But that's not being asked for here. We're looking for math only, science only, social studies only. The only sections are those. 28, science 18, social studies 18. The first part of your next test, which will be mainly on election theory, we'll start with this. I just kind of lumped in Venn diagrams with this section. Doesn't really go anywhere else. Underneath roosters, write down male. Next to hens, write down female. Chickens is everything. Thank you. Natalie. Once again, let's find our main intersection. Is there something up there describing this center section of fat, red, and male? 9 fat roosters. 9 right in the center. Then we start looking for intersections. Let's see. I would jump to this one next, because fat is one of my main sets. Is male one of my sets?
Yeah.
Yes. So that's describing, in total, this section right here. How many are already in there? So if 26 has to be the total in there, I need 17 there. Then I would jump to this right here. Fat is one of my sets, so those two have to be inside of here someplace. If they're female, then they can't be within the male set. So what's the only section? So that's a case where.
Recycling.
Yes, thank you. That one was very specific, and that was the only small area that I could fit that 2 into. What could we go after next? What's that? Because it's female, so we're not considering the whole football shape, we're just considering that little section. Every problem's a little bit different. Thin is starting to be talked about. Well, thin isn't one of my sets, but red is. Red and roosters. So I'm looking at the intersection of red and male, which is this area. But since it's thin, it can't be in fat. So really, I'm just looking at this little area here. So sometimes you look at the entire intersection, sometimes you got to look at pockets of it. How about we now look at this? I'm looking at the fat chickens now because I filled in every other component of the fat section. There's only one section left. Jessica? Okay. I did not. No. Regarding. What's your last name? I got it. You ready? Just sign out for me on that. Thank you.
Does it say 15?
Yes. How much is left for the 37? 26, 28, 9. So we have the entire fat circle. Where would 7 thin brown hens go? It's not a part of any of those sets. It's thin, so it's not fat. It's brown, so it's not red. It's female, so it's not male. It has nowhere to go inside any of those sets. It goes on the outside. But that goes on the inside, not because of thin. That's not a set. Brown's not a set. But male. And they're not fat and they're not red, so the only spot left for those is in that section. And do we have Say that again? Oh, right here, 5 thin red hens. Red's okay. Can't go there because it's a hen. Can't go there because it's thin. So that 5 must go there. Then we just start adding up. This does not say only fat. It just says fat. If it said only fat, then we would have said 9. They told us the answer right up here for that 37. It doesn't say only red, which would be 5. It says red. So I'm looking at the entire set, which adds up to 22. Doesn't say only male. Only male would be 18. We want all of the males. What is that total? 50. Fat, but not male. For that, I would just circle. That's not in the male circle. That's not in the male circle. That totals 11. Brown, but not fat. Which ones were brown? The 7. Doesn't matter that it's on the outside. It still includes brown chickens. Not fat is right there. So we're looking at a combination of 18 and 7, 25. Red and fat. Well, that's the intersection. That's the football shape. Which totals 11. Total number of chickens. If we add up everything here, let's start with fat. That's 37 plus 18, 55, 55, 60, 66. I'm getting 73 if I add up all those pieces. Does that make it a little more clear?